Hey, what's up you guys? Ben here. There's a lot of watches with fancy complications and busy dial layouts, but sometimes simplicity is just the way to go. This is why I think the Rolex Explorer is pretty popular, for instance. But there is an Omega counterpart to the Explorer that arguably provides better value for your money. The watch I'm referring to is the Omega Railmaster. The Railmaster provides a clean aesthetic, all while maintaining a level of sophistication through its dial design. If you've never seen this dial in person before, you really are missing out. It's one of the most unique looking dials I've ever seen, particularly this denim version that I'll be going over today. The Rolex Explorer is without a doubt an excellent watch, but the Omega Railmaster I think is a serious contender for its category, perhaps even enough to dethrone Rolex. By the way, don't forget to press the subscribe button because you don't want to miss out on any future watch content, and while you're at it, hit the like button too, it really does help out the channel out a lot. If you've seen my watch collection video, you know that this Railmaster was my first luxury watch, and it's been an excellent companion ever since. It's got this element of uniqueness that really jumps out at you. And just to give you guys a synopsis, I'll be going over the history, the movement, the specs, my personal experiences, and an overview at the end of the review. Anyway, let's jump right in. The Railmaster has been a part of Omega since 1957. It was introduced in 1957 as a trio of releases along with the Speedmaster and the Seamaster. It's safe to say that out of the three, the Railmaster is criminally underrated, but understandably so. The Speedmaster went to the moon, and the Seamaster was built for the water, which was a hot craze back then, and it still is even now. The Railmaster was given the title Railmaster because the target market were railway employees as well as scientists and electricians. Its purpose was to be a watch that could withstand the damaging effects of electric fields, which the previously mentioned professions encounter pretty often. Magnetic fields are all around us, and it can be an interference that can cause a watch to lose its accuracy, which can be a major problem for someone working in a profession with time-sensitive elements. At the time, the Railmaster had an anti-magnetic double caseback, and it could resist up to 1,000 Gauss of magnetic force. 1,000 Gauss seems puny compared to watches of today, especially considering that the modern day Railmaster can withstand up to 15,000 Gauss, but for back then, 1,000 Gauss was pretty substantial. I mentioned earlier that the Railmaster is a rival to the Rolex Explorer. It was technically introduced to serve as a rival to the Rolex Milgauss, specifically the Milgauss reference 6541. But in the modern age, I think the Railmaster serves as a better rival to the Explorer due to their similar design philosophies. Within the Railmaster, it's the Omega caliber 8806. Even though you can't see it through an exhibition caseback, the movement still looks gorgeous nonetheless. Instead, what you'll find is a closed caseback with an articulate engraving of a seahorse. The movement is Master Chronometer certified by the Federal Institute of Metrology, or MATOS for short. This means that the watch as a whole has passed 8 different tests related to quality, durability, and accuracy. As mentioned earlier, the movement is resistant to magnetic fields of up to 15,000 Gauss, so if you're someone who works in a profession with intense magnetic fields, like a scientist or a doctor, you'll be fully covered. The movement is of course automatic, with a power reserve of up to 55 hours. The power reserve is decent enough, and in case your watch runs out of power while it's in storage, you can easily set the time since this is only a time display watch. Moving on to specs, the Railmaster is 40mm in diameter and is 12.7mm in thickness. Its lug-to-lug length is 46.5mm and the lug width is 20mm. A 40mm diameter is the perfect size in modern times, and who doesn't love an even 20mm lug width? You can basically customize this watch with any strap of your choice, and trust me, this watch will look good in almost any straps. The strap of my choice is the Zealande rubber strap. It's perfect because it's comfortable, durable, and it looks good. Talking about lug sizes, I do have to mention that the bracelet of this watch is average at best. The quality of the finishing is pretty high, but it just doesn't fit my wrist perfectly, hence another reason as to why I wear mine on an aftermarket strap. Considering its dimensions, the watch can basically fit any size of male wrist. I'd reckon anyone with the wrist size of about 5.5 inches can wear this watch pretty comfortably, and for reference, my wrist size is 7.1 inches. The water resistance rating of this watch is 150 meters, so you can feel safe wearing this watch out in the rain or going in the pool with the watch on. Just make sure the crown is fully locked in. The versatile dimensions plus the functionality, this watch is good enough to tank almost any situation you'll find yourself in. As I mentioned earlier, the Railmaster was my first luxury watch. I chose the Railmaster not only because of its looks and the fact that it comes from a respected brand, but because, back then, I was OCD about watch lug widths and diameters. I only collected watches that had a diameter of 39 to 40 millimeters with a 20 millimeter lug width. This weird obsession has since gone away, but the Railmaster has stayed. I work in a laboratory, so the anti-magnetic properties of the Railmaster came in really handy. The fact that it's versatile enough to go with any work outfit only helped. This is a watch that you can virtually wear with anything, from a sporty outfit to a formal business outfit. Its slender profile helps it stay under your cuffs when it needs to, and the blue dial goes with every color. Besides the fit issue with the bracelet, the only other issue that I had was that I'd get distracted pretty often, just staring down at the dial. The way the dial changes shade in different light settings is just phenomenal. I can't complain too much about this though, because it's made the time pass by much quicker. In nighttime, the lume comes in really handy. It's bright and super legible, so I've never had issues being able to tell the time in dark settings. The Railmaster isn't perfect, with one of its flaws being the bracelet issue that I mentioned earlier, but that's quite an easy fix. You just put it on a different strap of your liking. Besides, there are so many other positives that I think it really makes the watch stand out. The dimensions are nearly ideal, along with the functional specs to back it up, such as the water and anti-magnetic resistance. The lume is great, and the movement that resides within the watch is mechanically superb. You can basically wear this watch to any occasion you'll find yourself in, and you'll notice yourself glancing down to look at the subtle details of the dial multiple times. As underrated as the Railmaster is, I think it's a perfect candidate if you're looking for something simple that you can wear every day. Compared to other Omegas, like the Speedmaster for instance, I think the Railmaster is highly underrated, but I think that just adds an extra layer of uniqueness and it just makes the watch feel that much more special to the wearer. The watch is really simple, but it's got this X factor with the design of the dial. And in the words of Da Vinci, simplicity is the ultimate form of sophistication. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about the Railmaster? And in between the Railmaster and the Explorer, which one would you choose and why? As always, don't forget to subscribe and like, and I'll see you on the next one.